Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome on back to another LEGO review. Today we're going to be taking a look at set number 76012, Batman, the Riddler Chase. Sounds quite interesting indeed. So of course, as you can see, just like the patented at this point, I guess, packages for the LEGO superhero sets, they are absolutely magnificently done. I love the front of the sets. They just look awesome. I love the fact that they actually use the toys and then add some different elements like little special effects and such for Flash and everything. It looks absolutely great. So of course, the main reason to get this set is not so much for Batman and the Batmobile, even though, yes, that is definitely an awesome factor and all, but I have to say that there's been a lot of Batmobiles and a lot of Batmans, so there's been a lot of chances to get this. However, I don't recall ever seeing Flash before, so this is really cool. And furthermore, I know that there's been a lot of other Riddlers, but this Riddler looks absolutely awesome. And you guys know that Riddler is my favorite Batman villain, so I absolutely knew I had to get the set when I saw it on the shelves. Now, with all that being said, this is a set that consists of 304 pieces, and once you assemble them all together, this is what you end up with. Bam! That was pretty epic, wasn't it? I really was waiting a long time to do that reveal there. So, without further ado, let's get cracking on these designs here. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a look at the vehicles themselves first, and then we're going to take a look at all the minifigures. So that is why Mr. Flash is going to get set aside for just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and put him onto here for now, and you'll see him in just a sec, as will Riddler. So obviously you could see this was kind of for me to show you that both characters can sit in the vehicles, their respective vehicles I should say, very, very easily. Actually, I'll show you Batman in a moment. Alright, so let's kick things off with the Riddler's drag racer here. So let me just get my camera to focus up on this. There we go. Alrighty, so you will obviously see that this thing has got a very thin, but at the same time lengthy design, which I think is very fitting of Riddler's character, because that's what I always imagine Riddler being himself, like to be very, you know, scrawny and very, very tall and such. So I think that this is a very fitting vehicle. Now, I think that it would be really difficult to drive this thing with the engine like right there revving in your face. So I don't know how practical that is. Speaking of practical things, I guess, you do get these awesome $100 bills, which, by the way, if you think about it, you get 4 of them, right? So Riddler robs a bank and all he steals is $400. That's a lot of risk for just $400. I mean, $400 is a lot of money, but I don't know if it's worth going to jail for this much money. So this was something that Riddler needs to work on. He needs to make these pouches bigger and safer, because honestly, if you're flying off in a drag racer, wouldn't all this money just fly out? So this is not very smart, and considering Riddler is very smart, you would think he would figure that out. But of course you get these little bags and you can remove them, and actually the cool thing is you could even go ahead and put these bags on his back, which is something I've tried, so that's kind of cool. Like, you can put his head like so. Let me show you, because I know somebody's gonna ask, what did you mean by that? So let me see. There we go. So you just slide that on, and there you go. And now you've got Riddler carrying a whole bag of cash, which is pretty awesome indeed. So I'm just going to remove that so that we could later on see all the prints on his back. Just be careful, don't tug at that too harshly. And Riddler's going to go aside for now. But of course, this just clips on very, very easily. So if you don't like the way it looks or whatever it is, or you don't want to have it there, you can unclip those little bags there as well. The cool thing is he's also got this really cool spoiler that moves all around, so you can kind of maneuver it whichever way you want. You could get really goofy with it, you know, drop it all the way down here, or extend it, super extend it up here. So it's really nice to just have a little bit of customization there. Plus, this thing was super duper fun to build. It's a very, very simple build, very quick and efficient, and just a fun little build. I think that it's a really nice little vehicle. There's 2 sticker applications, one on the spoiler here and one on the front of the car here. And other than that, it's pretty simple to put together. Now, additional to all this, the Riddler also has a weapon installed in this thing, which is obviously very, very clever of him. And basically the way that it works is you just push the drag racer down, and bam, you saw that fire off. And what it is a little bomb. So as Batman is chasing him down, he's got a little bomb that can go off and explode on the road, which is pretty cool. I definitely like that element there. It's a nice little surprise, and you don't really notice it when you're building it. You're like, oh, that's probably like some sort of a, you know, kind of to simulate an engine or some sort of a exhaust pipe or something. But then you realize, oh wow, that's pretty cool. It's actually a bomb that sets off if you push the vehicle down, which a lot of these types of cars, like these dragsters, they do go up like this, so it makes perfect sense, and it's a cool little tidbit and element of play. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and set the first vehicle aside and bring in our second vehicle, which is far larger, of course, far thicker. This is definitely the biggest part of the build. In fact, the set comes with 2 booklets. The first booklet is used to assemble Riddler, Flash, and the dragsters, and then the second booklet is fully dedicated to assembling the Batmobile here. So, and of course Batman as well. And I think there were 3 bags in total. 2 of the bags are used for the Batmobile, and obviously you can definitely tell that a lot more of the pieces go to this. So with that being said, it's a pretty cool little design. It definitely does not remind me of any particular Batmobile. Maybe I'm just, I can't think of one, but it doesn't remind me of a specific Batmobile. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the new Arkham Knight Batmobile, actually, which is very, very good. That's definitely a good thing. Just a tiny little bit. I love this front window here. There's a little bit of a sticker application that you have to do right here on the front for that big, bright, awesome Lego Batman logo, or Batman logo indeed, not just Lego Batman. Now, of course, you know Bruce Wayne rolls in style, so he's got to get his rims in gold. Yeah, only Batman would think of that. He's like, you know what? I gotta have my rims in gold. It's like, why would you want to do this? Because I'm Batman. I could totally see Batman reasoning like that with Lucius. Lucius is like, why do we need gold rims, Batman? We don't need gold rims, Batman. You're not a famous, crazy hip-hop artist or something. No, I'm Batman. I need gold rims. I could totally see that. But nonetheless, Batman positions in there very easily. I wish that there was a little bit of a canopy factor, but basically the way that it works is you literally just push the canopy off of here, like so, or pull it off, and then you can see Batman right there. He actually has to kind of lay down as he's driving this thing, which is pretty sweet, because I think it adds an interesting little element to the vehicle. And the way that it works is you can actually raise the steering wheel, so you could totally see this, you know, maybe elevates like this, right? Then the steering wheel picks up, and then Batman pops out of it. He's like, let's fight Robin. Oh man, I forgot Robin again. Or something like that. So you could definitely close that back up and close the shell. We'll take a look at the Batman figurine in just a second, but first, of course, let's continue looking at the Batmobile. So first off, it rolls really, really nicely. It gets these really big, thick tires, even thicker than the ones on the back of the Riddler dragster there. So this is pretty gosh darn cool. The build is still very simple. I kind of, to be honest, I wish that it would be a little bit more complex. I feel like for this set, they used a lot of pre-sized pieces. Like a lot of the pieces, the way that this build comes together is kind of interesting, because how it works is you basically build out this little skeleton thing with a lot of the pins. If you know what I'm talking about, there's these pieces. If I could just take this off, this lengthy piece with, you know, all these little inserts, and this works really nicely, of course, for clipping things in. So the armor kind of just clips on from all the different sides, which is not a bad thing, but it kind of reminded me a little bit more of a Technic build, more so than just a Lego build. So I wish that it was a little bit more brick involved than it was with these kind of connector points. But at the same time, what I do like about this is that it's very sturdy. It doesn't feel like anything is going to fall apart. It doesn't feel like if you know, actually play around with it, mess it around a little bit and everything, maybe bump it into walls a little bit, not strongly, it doesn't feel like it's going to just shatter and fly apart, which is really nice. So that's definitely a positive side to that. I also love the fact of how the front of the vehicle comes together with a kind of trident-like shape, so that's pretty lovely indeed. And then, of course, Batman has got to have a little bit of firepower as well, so the way that his gimmick works is basically right down here, this thing lifts up, and then you've got these little tabs down here, and when you push those, you can launch these rockets. Now, that is a very cool element. I really like that because you could totally see Batman chasing down Riddler, and as he's chasing Riddler down, he's like, activate rockets. This thing comes up and then shoots. But I wish that the way that they had the mechanism here wasn't just up and down like this. I wish that it was up and then you could shift this forward. So it could slide a little bit forward over the canopy, because I think that then you could kind of point it straight, whereas here you're always kind of shooting in an arched way. So I think it would have been just a cooler little mechanism to have it shift up over the top of the canopy. Again, maybe that's just me, but I think that's a pretty cool thing that they could have added. I love all the little details with like the little guardrails here. That looks nice and all. I also very much like the way that these panels here kind of maneuver around, especially if you don't break them apart, Blitzwinger. So you could kind of change a little bit of the silhouette of the Batmobile from this to this, of course, so a bit of a smoother design, or the opposite, have a little bit more rougher edges to it and such. So again, it's a very minor detail, but it definitely is nice to have it there as well. So with that being said, now that we've taken a look at both of the vehicles, let's get to the minifigures. So I've assembled this little minifigure displayer thingamajig, which is very, very simple, but I think it's gonna look cool. So that being said, let's go ahead and zoom on in and have the camera focused. So we're going to kick things off with the Flash. I have to say that the Flash is very, very cool and very nice to actually have a Flash figure. I don't own... The only superhero characters that I own are like Batman and then a bunch of the Marvel heroes. So from the Batman universe and from the DC universe overall, I don't really own a lot of characters. So I was very happy to add the Flash to this list, especially because I'm a big fan of the Flash, so it's really, really cool to have a figurine of him. So you'll see, of course, he's got a really cool helmet going on, and this Flash outfit, especially the helmet, kind of reminds me of this new Flash that we're going to have in the movie, in the TV show. So that's kind of cool that it's very, very relevant to the current interpretation of Flash. The only thing I find kind of oddballish is when you pull off the helmet. I don't know why, like with this expression, it works. It definitely looks nice, and I think it works nicely, and it's nothing that is bothersome or anything like that. But when you turn it around to this expression, there's just something oddballish about the way he looks here. I don't know, he just looks a little oddballish here, and I don't know what it is specifically, but there's just something that I don't particularly, it just does not click very well for me personally. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe you guys disagree with that, but I think that it does look a little bit oddballish here. However, as soon as you put the helmet on, it definitely still looks cool. Bam! So this is kind of more of a urgent, looks like he's a little bit frustrated, maybe a little mad. Flash right there. Of course, predominantly red. Only has the details on the back and the front there. But again, I think it works, and it works really nicely indeed. So, that being said, let's go ahead and pop off the Flash and bring in Mr. Riddler. Of course, the bad guy of the set. So he's got a banana to throw in front of Flash, so Flash could slip up on that. And of course, I'm assuming Flash is going to fall for it. So yeah, that's one of his weapons, I guess, which is very, very goofy, but again, it fits with the Lego Batman type comedy style, which I love. And maybe Joker will sue Riddler. He'll be like, how dare you use bananas? That's my trick. Maybe they'll get into a big royalty disagreement or something. But first of all, of course, you'll see this is a very cool design for Riddler, I have to say. It's really interesting how they use this little crowbar piece to make it look like the question mark cane. So it kind of works. It's not perfect, but it definitely works. Plus they cast it in gold, so that's very nice and definitely helps it be perceived more positively. But I love the fact that he's got this really cool kind of zipper jacket. You could see that this is probably made out of leather or something. I also love it that in the back he's got a little scarf. Just like a nice little touch. And the thing that I was most kind of taken aback by, and I found really intriguing, was the fact that, look at that, his legs have two different greens, and I think that works really nicely. His arms have two different greens, and that really, really helps him to stand out, because I feel like if you had cast him all in green, I don't think he would have looked that cool, but I think that the changing the different hues of green and then giving him the purple glove really kind of allows him to stand out nicely. So I'm definitely happy with the way that Mr. Riddler here turned out. I love the little question mark on the hat. And unfortunately for Riddler, he does not have two expressions, so he only has this kind of laughing, diabolical expression on the back here. There's nothing, of course, but that's because when you put on the hat, obviously it wouldn't cover it up, so you want to be careful with that. But again, Riddler looking fantastic. Definitely a great, great minifigure. And from what I understand, this is a completely new Riddler, so that's great, at least from a painting standpoint. And then, of course, we gotta end it all off with the Dark Knight himself. I'm Batman. So, of course, this is the gray and black outfit, which I love. I know a lot of people don't like this outfit, actually. A lot of people seem to be kind of against this particular suit, but I don't know, I find it to be a really, really nice outfit, and I think it works nicely. To me, it's a great balance between kind of, you know, the black outfit, the elements that I like from the black outfit, and then the elements that I like from the blue and gray outfit. And I really like this design, which is why when I saw this Batman, I was like, this is awesome. This is definitely my favorite Batman so far. He also gets a Batarang. He actually gets 2 of those. The other one I forgot to bring. So he's got 2 of these. Of course, they're huge, which is always funny. And just like in the Lego movie, he can throw them at a button 300 times and then go, first try. Because why not? All right, so now I'm going to stop with my horrible Batman impersonation there. But nonetheless, of course, as you can see, he's got some really nice design there for his belt. His cape is really nicely done. Of course, at this point, it can't be poorly done. On the back, his belt continues as well, so no interesting details there. But hey, most of the time it's covered up by the what is it called, cape anyway, so you won't see it. I love the way that the mask is done. I think that's fantastic. I think it works really, really great. The only thing that I always find hilarious is the fact that when you take off the mask, it's basically Bruce Wayne as if he just came after a really difficult workout or something. He just came back from a workout and he's like, yep, I got one of those like sweatbands, I guess they would be called or something, right? And then at the same time, it's like, hey, Bruce, how do you see with this? Because aren't his eyes right now like right underneath where the eyelids are? So that's really goofy, I think. But hey, it works. I think it's funny, and it's definitely something that always makes me laugh. And then, of course, he's got this really rough and tough expression, but if you rotate it around, he's also got another kind of I'm not impressed expression. So there you go. That one works as well. This is kind of like as if Robin just told him a really, really great story, and Batman's just looking at him like this, and then he just goes like, facepalm. Facepalm, Robin. Facepalm. So with all that being said, there you guys have it. There is the entire set. Of course, it features the Riddler. It features Mr. Flash here himself. And of course, it features 2 very, very nice vehicles. So not only do you get 2 fantastic vehicles in the form of course, Riddler's dragster and the Batmobile. You can't have too much Batmobile, of course. But additionally to that, you get a fantastic, fantastic set of minifigures in the form of the Flash, the Riddler, and Batman. So with all that being said, of course, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, smash that like button, share the video with your family and friends, favorite the videos as well. And of course, I will catch you guys next time. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks all for watching.